got it? Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, the yard today.
I mean, you're one of the few guys that's probably still allowed to be on campus out there. I mean, I think this is cool to get to show off the field in front of all these kids watching right now.
Yeah, no, we're pretty. Yeah, we're in a good spot. Like, obviously, campuses, all the kids have gone away, gone back home, but we're able to get back on campus and just at least I can get in my office and just enjoy a little quiet time and catch up with some administrative work.
That's good. All right, so check it out. So I'm gonna give a little breakdown on GCU baseball, kind of who you are, because there's a lot of kids watching from all over the country that may not know you guys. So GCU, Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona. Been playing baseball since the 50s. Storied program, winning all the time. I think you had a D1 stint back in the day, maybe in the 90s, and then went to D2 or NAI, and then back to D1 in 2014.
Right, correct. You got it. Yeah.
And when you came back, I mean, you've been with them for that whole ride. I think you finished a couple years in CCAA and then rolled right into the WAC. And I know you've won 1 or 2 conference titles in the last 6 years, right?
No, I think we won 3. I don't even. Yeah.
Probably 3.
We were first year. We were postseason eligible a couple of years ago. When you go from Division 1 or from 2 to 1, you have a probationary period, they call it, where you can't go to the postseason. So we were not able to go into the WAC tournament to try to get to a regional. But the last 2 years we have been, and unfortunately, we haven't got to a regional. But we've put ourselves in a pretty good spot. You know, we're starting to get some better recruiting and the program's building, and I couldn't be more excited about what's in front.
I'd agree, and I think I mean, for kids out there who don't know, you played at Pepperdine, you got drafted, you had a long professional career, 7 years in and out of the big leagues with the Yankees, I think Astros, Expos, and finished up with the hometown team, the D-backs. So you're a guy who knows what's going on out there. You know baseball, you love baseball. And I think you're putting together a really strong program in Arizona. And I know you got Blake in this year to help with the pitching staff, Hawksworth.
Right.
So you got another big league guy running the pitching out there. So, I mean, you've done a great job, and you guys are having a great year. A couple marquee series wins against Oklahoma State rolled in. You took a series from them. So strong start to the year before this whole COVID-19 thing went down. Let us know, like, what'd you say to the kids, like the staff? What happened?
Well, it was tough. We were in actually we went to Arkansas. We just played Stanford on a weekend series. Won an 18-inning game on a Friday night, and then we lost the next 2. But I thought we played well and went down to Arkansas and lost game 1 on a Tuesday. Game 2 on Wednesday, we lost 10-9. It was kind of a back and forth kind of great baseball game. And then from there, we were busing to Waco the next morning. And so we're on a bus heading down to Waco to play Baylor. So that was going to be our final non-conference weekend. Obviously pretty excited about going down there and face Steve Rodriguez, who's a Pepperdine grad, as you know, and a good friend. I'm really excited to head down there. And they got a phone call from Jamie Boggs, our athletic director, and just said, hey, you need to get the bus to Dallas Airport and just come home. And you know, it was one of those kind of surreal moments where you're like, you know, you kind of hear about it. You kind of, you know, with this COVID-19 started to kind of gain some ground, and obviously everyone was a little cautious. But then to get a phone call like that and have to basically talk to the guys in the bus and say, man, unfortunately we got to go home. And I don't know what's going to happen. And obviously, since we've been home, they shut the season down. So, yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough for everybody. Everybody wants to play, you know that. And but at the same time, we understand, you know, hey, there's lives at stake, and that's what's important right now. It's just in putting control on this COVID-19, and then when we do, we'll get back to baseball. But in the meantime, we just support.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time for players to kind of take a little break and get arms back to normal and spend time with the families, and I guess keep working out while they're at home. And that's kind of like leads into my next question is what are the players doing right now, like to stay mentally engaged and physically engaged too?
Well, mentally, they got this week's finals week for us at Bryan Kaye, and so that was one of the challenges that I think we're in a good spot, or a decent spot, because a lot of our courses are online. You know, GCU has been at the forefront of online education in the last 15 years. So this transition, you know, for kids off campus has impacted a lot of schools probably more significantly than GCU. And so that's been the challenge, make sure we finish well in the classroom, and our guys are doing that, and this is finals week. And then the other challenge is stay in shape. And obviously the season's over, but the next goal, the next target is summer ball, right? So we just got to keep targeting summer ball for them. And as of right now, summer ball still is a go, which we got to stay optimistic. I think that's how we got to look at this. And so that's what we've been challenged. They have a weight workout, they call it a jailhouse workout. Our strength coach, Mike and Riggs, put together for our guys, and to where they're at home and they're basically using their body weight, you know, to do all sorts of drills and strength exercises to stay in shape. And so that's been the biggest concern right now is playing catch, keeping your arms in shape. So if summer ball gets moving, like we hope, that their arms are in good enough shape to start playing pretty quickly, and their legs staying strong. And so those have been the two biggest concerns, is the academic side of it, and then obviously staying in physical shape.
Yeah, I mean, because it could come back in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Nobody knows. It's a great unknown.
Right.
I was looking through some old articles that I found, you know, that were written about you back then. And I found a great quote this morning, and I wrote it down, and it probably works for right now. And you said, you know, the guys who make it are those who can grind out the tough days and keep showing up ready to play. And that's basically what you just said right then and there. Like, you got to grind because you never know when your day is coming.
Yeah, I think we all have a passion for the game. We all love the game. You do, I do, all the coaches do. You wouldn't be.
Hey, there he is.
Sorry about that. I was hoping we could sit out there on the concourse and do this, but we kind of lost that Wi-Fi, I guess, huh?
Hey, they got a good view of the field. Now they can see your office, so they're, you know, two birds, one stone.
Yeah, well, the office isn't too clean, so but all right, we'll take it.
You got a lot of cool stuff in there, bro.
A lot of pictures. I like the pictures on the wall of can you see Mantle, Maris, Clete Boyer up there?
Yeah.
The Yankee guys. Those are my favorites right there.
Take us on a little tour of the office. Show us some stuff.
You got that one right there, right? You got Clete Boyer. He was my infield coach, third base coach coming up with the Yankees, man. He was a huge supporter of mine. Obviously, there's Mickey and Roger Maris. Can you see him? All right. Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
Then you got Clete Boyer, Tony Kubak, Bobby Richardson, Moose Skowron. Obviously played the infield there, the Yankees. Team photo, Astros, Yankees, and then the two team photos of the Expos. When that's kind of fun to say that I played in Montreal. A lot of you, my guys, they don't even like Montreal. There's a team in Montreal.
They don't even know, right?
They have no idea.
They had the sickest hat in baseball.
Yeah. And then there's Gold Gloves here. These are three of our guys that have won Gold Gloves. You know, in the time that we've been here. And there's a couple pictures of ASU when I coached at ASU. Here's one of my favorites. Here's my son, Drew. Can you see that? Go down a little bit. There you go. And my son, Drew, when I was coaching at ASU, was bat boying, and that's Brett Wallace. When obviously you got Brett Wallace, a great hitter for ASU and a great professional ball player. So it was kind of fun to be able to take my boys when I was at ASU on road trips and be bat boys and stuff. So a lot of good stuff. And then you have the board up here, and you got you got your roster, and shoot, we're trying to figure out a lot of roster stuff right now just because of
I bet
all these guys that are returning, and which is great. I'm happy that NCAA is allowing that, but it just makes it a little bit, a lot of numbers for all of us. All of us coaches are going through the same thing.
We got Coach Aseri asked, he got in late. He wants to know who the coach is, what school. So this is Andy Stankiewicz, Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona. A WAC school. Yeah, so I mean, I guess talking about that, like, so you're able to carry more players next year, right?
Well, right now you can carry as many seniors as extra players.
Seniors.
Yeah, so, and we didn't get hit that hard. We have only 3 seniors that would be returning, and I'm hoping that they all do. They're all kind of trying to wade through that. But I know that the Division I baseball, ABCA is looking at trying to give us an expanded roster, unlimited, which would be helpful. And that way,
Yeah.
you're not in a situation where you're having to let guys go. Typically, you keep.
Hey, if a senior finishes all his school, like, dude, what does he do next year? Just play baseball?
Well, he's got, yeah, I wish, yeah. Yes, at least be in one class. Yes, you have to be in class. So we have guys who will start their master's program. And so, which is relatively simple because it's you can take one course at a time and then basically, play baseball. So
talk about living the dream. I mean, that might be pretty sick.
Actually, my son Dane, he started that program this spring.
Good for him.
So he was getting his master's and taking 2 courses at a time and living the dream. Yeah, it's cool.
And so he's going to get back for another year and get more school under his belt.
Yeah, he'll get a master's degree next spring. So
God bless him.
Not a bad deal. It's just,
no.
He's a heck of a lot smarter than his dad, I can tell you that.
Yeah, all of us, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, so during this downtime, what kind of advice would you give to a high school or travel ball age player? What kind of advice would you give someone like that who's done right now and waiting around?
Yeah, I think, as coaches, everybody's gone away. And at some point we're going to see them again. And so when you see them again, when I see our guys again, I'm going to be kind of curious to what they look like, what kind of shape they're in, right? And all of a sudden, if the things that we were working on with their swing or their delivery, if it's improved, then we know what? We know they worked. We know that they figured out a way to get on the field and get better. Now, we see them again in a month or whatever it is, 2 months, 6 weeks, and they've gotten out of shape. If we're allowed to get back on the field and guys start to show up to go in the cages and hit and see the same swing issues that I saw 6 weeks ago, when we had discussed it, then I'm going to know, well, you probably didn't really work. You probably didn't figure out a way to get better. And I think that's my biggest advice to a young player is we don't stay the same, right? We don't want to stay the same. You want to get better. And so their goal should be that when my coach sees me again, whether it be in a month, 6 weeks, that he's going to see an improved player, irregardless of the fact that I haven't had live ABs, I haven't been able to throw bullpens. We can't let that be an excuse. There's still a lot of ways that you can get you working. Yeah,
and that's the thing, trying to get better, I guess. So that's good advice to all you young guys out there is try and get better every single day. I could probably talk to you about coaching forever because you got a lot of knowledge on it. Every player on a team has a role, and you were kind of one of those guys as a player. You were a guy who knew what your role was, and you were a grinder, and you pushed people you pushed people. So how does a player find their role on a team? Like, how does that play out? How do you coach players once they find a role to excel in that?
Well, it's good. I think a lot of young players have an identity crisis, right? And I realized really quickly that for me to keep playing this game, I had to know who I was. I really worked on defending. I knew that had to be when a manager put me in a ball game. I knew that I had to make the plays. I wasn't the most offensive player. I understood that. I better be able to steal a base. I better be a smart player. And so I kind of learned rather quickly who I needed to be. And I think for a lot of young players, there's a little bit of identity crisis. Everybody wants to throw harder. Everybody wants to hit the ball further, which is great. I'm all for that. Work towards those games. But the reality is, in the meantime, understand who you are as a player because the quicker you can figure that out, the quicker you're probably going to be an asset to your team, and the coach is going to use you. And so if I've got guys on my that I know can run the bases really well, and so, okay, you might not start today, but understand this, I may need you to come in and get a bag late. And so let's be really good at this right now. Because right now your bat maybe doesn't play like it's going to play in 6 months or a year. So there's always ways to figure out who are you at this moment, right? And so who are you embrace that player, right? If you're a guy that throws 87 with sink, be that guy, right? Until you hopefully get bigger and stronger and you start to get, and then all of a sudden now it's 89, 91, 92. Okay. But you're not that guy yet. So just be really good at who you are at the moment. And then the rest, as you develop, obviously there's going to be some changes to your game. But I think that's the biggest part, is understanding who you are at this moment. How can I help this team be successful?
And that is what makes a team, a bunch of guys doing different things really well.
Exactly.
So I love that. Someone said hi to you a minute ago, the Bermudez family from California. They said hello to you.
Yeah, fellow swordsmen. They're from St. Paul High School, where I went to school. I know, and Will just committed to UC Davis. So congratulations to him. A little scrapper. Talk about a scrapper. He's a heck of a little ball player.
Dude, and you brought up St. Paul High School, and I found that unbelievable. That when you end up on the Yankees, you're playing middle infield with your ex-teammate from high school, Gallego. Like, dude, how does that happen?
I know, it's a crazy small world. I know. Well, he got traded over or he signed as a free agent with New York, and I had coming up through the minor league system with the Yankees, and then we got to spring training together in New York in '92. And he was kind of like my idol growing up, because he went to same high school. He was a really good football player, and I tried to follow his lead playing football. And then he went to UCLA. And I almost went to UCLA, but I ended up going to Pepperdine, so I was like always kind of following him. And then to play my first year in the big leagues, he was a huge kind of mentor of mine. He'd been in the big leagues for a while, and he kind of took me under his wing and made sure that I didn't do too many bad rookie moves. But it was fun. It was pretty cool to play beside him.
That's awesome. All right, man. We got some questions here, Stank. So. Let's see. All right. So one, you've got a kid, Jack, who's a ball boy, who says hi. You know, a little kid named Jack. All right. So he says hello. So I don't miss some of these. Let's see. We've got Coach Ballgame asked us, what advice do you have for youth baseball volunteer coaches?
I think the biggest advice is just to try to keep it fun, for the little guys. I think there is a lot of pressure now, I think, at an earlier age, because everyone's kind of specializing, a little bit quicker than we did growing up, right? We didn't have, and I'm not saying that specialization is a bad thing. We just didn't have it growing up because there was no club baseball, right? And so, but I think one thing else is try to keep it light, and have fun with the kids. I think the end goal is that they want to come back again the next day. They want to come back the next week. They want to keep coming back, and that's how I think the game will grow. I think that's how we help it grow, is just making sure that keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fun, be creative, create drills that make it, and don't let it all just always be the same routine of batting practice every day, because that can kind of lose a lot, help you lose the lesson, I think. But I think more than anything else is just make sure the boys are having fun. That's right.
I got 2 kids, and all they ever want to do is play pickle. And so that's what we do every day. We're playing pickle in the backyard, and they're having so much fun.
Yeah, sliding and saying I was safe, know you were out, and that whole that's fun. That reminds me of a slip and slide. Remember those old slip and slides?
Yeah.
Throw a slip and slide out there and wet it down and work on sliding. Just let them.
I used to love that at baseball summer camp, doing the slip and slide. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Water balloon toss. I mean, a lot of those things we do at camp.
That's right.
It's fun. And
it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, we kind of lose that a little bit. All of a sudden, the kid gets into high school, all of a sudden it just becomes
serious.
Focused on, hey, I got to get a scholarship. I got to get, and you kind of lose the just being a kid again.
Thank you. Stick's comment said, dude, is there any baseball equipment I should get this summer to help me for next season? Dude, Anything from Easton, man. Come on.
Well, I'll show you. I'll show you this guy right here, man. This is our bread and butter right here, man. This is the Easton training glove, and you got me about 6 or 7 of these things, and we drill like crazy with these things. You know, and it reminds me, I need to get an Easton net from you guys. I need to pick one up.
I'll get you one.
Yeah, those nets are awesome because you pop them up, you put them in the backyard. You know, you don't need a huge batting cage. You know, you put the tee down and you do some side flip with your kids, and you know, just make sure that I guess they hit line drives, because otherwise you can hit some cars and move them down the street. But yeah, I mean, obviously Easton's got a ton of good stuff out there for guys to get better.
I find, you know, I was thinking about this too earlier. Like to sign a program like Grand Canyon for us was awesome. Like, you got a really good pedigree. You've been around a long time. You're a defensive-minded guy. And when we got you, like, you know, you wanted to make sure that our product, that your players and yourself were comfortable with it. And I think that's happened. And you're comfortable with it and you love it, and the kids are excelling with it. So, I mean, talk about that for a second.
Well, I think that was a big part of it, right, is you know, making sure that like you said, when we discussed this, to make sure that we're not losing anything in the quality of the product for our players. And I've told you, I called the programs that I know that we're using Easton, and every single one of them are like, "Hey, Stanky, they're legit." And I think that's huge. And another component of that has been, quite honestly, has been you, and because you show up and you got great energy for our guys, and it's the first thing our guys tell me all the time. And we love Easton because Easton. We feel like Easton wants to be with us, partner with us. And so that's a big part of it. And that's kind of what you're trying to build too, is like whoever you work with that, hey, we're on the same team. And so we're excited. You know, the bats have always been good. I've always felt like the bats have always been really good. And so we feel like we're not losing anything there. And we're just excited to be part of the Easton baseball team.
We're excited to have you guys, man. And the boys were hitting some bombs with our ADV and Maxims this year, so that was good.
There's one bat they liked. I forget which one it was, but every time they kept that's the one.
There was that red one, that ADV. They kept swinging those things.
Yeah.
All right, so the field. Let's talk your complex for a second. Like Brazil, I mean, what an unbelievable facility you guys have.
Yeah, we're really fortunate. About 3 years ago now, they restructured the whole stadium. It stayed in the same spot, but they just built up. Basically, tore the stadium down. And it was a nice ballpark, but it put obviously a nice concourse, and it's really got a spring training kind of look to it. I think that was the drive.
Yeah.
Stuff, and the architect went down to Salt River and we looked at the stadium and I think so. She kind of conceptualized the idea of what it would look like. It kind of matches what's on the stadium, nice red brick on the facing, big white pillars, and then the lights. But yeah, it's gorgeous. It's about 4,500 people, and then that's seat backs, and then you have a berm down the right field line, and then you have a big patio. So we could probably get close to 6,500, maybe 7,000 people in the stadium. That hopefully someday we'll get there.
You had a big one this year, didn't you? Yeah, I think you had over 4,000.
Yeah, Oklahoma State was over 4. TCU a couple of years ago, opening night was about 4,500, I think. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's been pretty cool. And we have 4 full-size cages that are right outside my office here. I don't know if you could see. Can you see those cages there?
Yeah, you've got your big like barn-looking thing out there. It's a nice spot.
Yeah, and then right to beyond that is a half field, turf field.
Yep.
Which is you know is great to have.
Always get your work in.
Yeah, we can be doing PFP work, pickoffs, and we take batting practice on the main diamond. So we just have a lot of rotations that go from cages to half field to the stadium. Bullpens right down the left field line right there as well. So we're really, man, we're in a good spot to help our guys develop. You know,
yeah.
I think that's the end goal is guys want to develop into the best baseball player they can be.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys are doing a great job of developing. I remember I was out a couple months ago. Quinn Cotton was out there working out. You got a lot of guys who keep coming back. I mean, your clubhouse, the name of it, and most people don't know probably. It's isn't it Tim Salmon Fieldhouse?
Yep, Tim Salmon Clubhouse. Yeah, Tim played here in those late '80s.
The Big Fish.
Yeah, the big fish. Yeah, he's still great to the program. It comes back. We have a golf outing every year, and he gets out to it. He's a great supporter of the program. He comes to a lot of the basketball games. So yeah, so it's the clubhouse. We need to get bigger. I think that's the one area that we probably need to look at here in the next couple of years, is trying to expand our clubhouse just to give the guys a little bit more room in there. But it works. It's right here. The beautiful thing is on campus.
Yeah.
The freshman dorms. The dorms are literally 5 minutes away, walking distance. If that, and everything is right here. Our guys park their cars, and they park them in the parking structure, and they'll leave them there for a month at a time, and they don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I think it's nice. It's all secluded in here. It's clean. A lot of the buildings are brand new.
Hotel on the campus, golf course, restaurants. Yeah.
It's a good setup, man. I remember when I took this job, and I've shared this with a lot of people. I didn't really know what that was like. Man, this is either going to be the biggest con job ever, right, or it's going to be the best thing ever. And it's been the best thing ever. I mean, I'm so excited, elated to be here, and I'm watching our program grow. And we're like you said, we're getting guys drafted, and we're developing well. And a lot of our guys they live in the Valley, and they're playing pro ball, and they're here almost every day in the morning.
I mean, it's a bit. Arizona is a baseball mecca at this point, with 3 of the top programs in the country, Division I, a boatload of MLB teams there, and then the travel ball and showcase stuff never stops. I mean, it's 24/7, 365. Like Rex Gonzalez just texted me. He's like, "Hey, what's up, Stank?" So they're all out there watching.
Yeah, no. It's a great place and it's going to get hot now. That's the one thing I tell people all the time. Like, but the beautiful thing about our guys, they leave for summer ball, right? And so the heat, the really hot weather months, they're all gone. So they get the best of the baseball climate wise here for sure.
Yeah. You think they're going to get back to playing pretty soon out there? What's your thought on that?
Well, I hope so. I think that we've all seen a lot of different kind of ideas, right?
Yeah.
The Arizona deal. I got it. I know if I was a young player, I'd be like, hey, man, I want to play. But I know the older guys are like, hey, they don't want to leave their families and that. I get that. And I think the first thing is to make sure that everybody's safe. And I think if they could show that starting baseball again is going to be safe and they're taking all the precautions to make sure everybody's in a good spot, I think that they'll figure out a way to try to make it happen. Maybe it's just a half season, but I think we all want to see it start up again. I think the players want to see it. I think the fans want to see it. MLB folks want to see it. But again, we understand too what safety is first priority.
Yeah, man, I hope they come back. I'm having a hard time sitting at home anymore.
I know, me too. Yeah.
All right, so let's go. One last question from a kid who asked this. So he wants to know what kind of players are you looking for, and what are you looking for when you're looking for kids?
Well, I think that I think everybody's probably got maybe a priority list. I think checklist number one, I think you got to have a good skill set in the game of baseball. I think that's important. It's got to be a young man that can pitch well or hit well or possibly do both. I mean, I said this too often. It's like I don't know how to coach you are or who you think you are. If you don't have a skilled player, in that dugout, you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna have a time being successful, right? And I tell people I don't want to go to a gunfight with a BB gun. I want to show up with some loaded ammo.
Gunslingers,
yeah. So I think you gotta have a skill set, and then there you've got to make sure that you want to recruit young men that are going to have time management skills and are disciplined. I've found that the guys that do well in the classroom and that do well in the weight room, they're usually our better players. They get it. They understand how to go about their day, and they have their good young men with character. And I think that's the big part of it. We want great teammates. We want people that it's no fun being a kid that's a malcontent, that's always bitter because he's got the role he thinks he's doing. role, and everybody's got to. They want to recruit guys that understand that and understand that their time might not be as a freshman. You know, if a kid tells me, "Hey, coach, I got to come in. I got to be your starting freshman shortstop," I'll be like, "Well, I'll give you every opportunity to do that, but I'm not giving you that. That's up to you to earn it." My question is this: if you don't earn it, what kind of team are you going to be? If you're going to be that guy that moans and groans, or if you're going to be that dad or that parent that I know is kind of giving me the death stare all the time because Jimmy's not playing a whole lot. There's a lot of players, there's a lot of good people out there that are good. I'll take my chances with those guys versus just having to deal with some of the nonsense that sometimes shows up.
Putting good people on that roster is probably pretty dang important.
Yeah, you want people that represent your university well. You know, you want wherever you're coaching. When I was with the Yankees, right, in the minor leagues, it was like, hey, you have a job to do. You represent the Yankees in a professional manner. Now I have our university takes care of our players. Yeah, we really do. We outfit them. We've got you at Easton. We got taking care of them. We really take care of them. And I tell them, now your job is to take care of the university. We've taken care of you. Now you take care of the university. You take care of this program. You take care of your teammates. It's a reciprocal relationship. It's just not you that you just take. You've got to give back. And so, and our guys get it. You know, I think there's a lot of good ball players out there that understand it.
Yep. I mean, hey, you guys do one heck of a job. Jack Wilson chiming in on here, saying what's up to Stank. There he is.
Really? Yeah. Excited.
Yeah.
About his boy.
GCU and Coach Stanky, the real deal. Playing the game right. There they are.
All right.
Hey, dude, listen, I appreciate you jumping on with us today, Stanky. We are so pumped to have Grand Canyon University representing us in the state of Arizona. We believe in you guys, so thank you for jumping on. You guys stay safe out there. Any last comments to the Easton Nation?
No, Easton Nation, man. Thank you. Lopes up to the Easton Nation. Let's start playing ball soon, so we can start having some fun in the field. All right.
You got it. Take care, Stank. Thanks, man.
Okay. Bye.
See you guys.